Hello and welcome back to my channel, Culture Kingdom. And here we have Eric and I'm Natasha Rome. And we are just here. This is our second video on our carnivore diet update. So it's just a simple conversation. We're just gonna chat about our week and update you daily and see how it goes because we're really here for an aggressive change in our health because we want to live longer. We want to be more healthy for ourselves, each other, and our families. And we also want to be able to serve the community and just be at our best first in order to give. And yeah, so we're here this is our second video. My first video was I had just started. So this is my week 1 has been completed. And Eric, where are you at?
This is my second week and 4 days.
Second week and 4 days. Okay, so let's just give a recap of when you started. What were some of the reasons why you started?
I really needed a change in my life. Yeah. That I've always wanted to do to actually lose weight because I've always struggled with my weight to the point where it was at 245, which to me was way too much. And I couldn't fit in my clothes anymore. All the clothes that I've had in my closet, they've been there for since I remember. So it's been really difficult to actually just choose one or two pieces of clothing that I can wear. Eventually, I went to the doctor to get an exam, some blood work, and I was then able to see that my LDL and according to the doctor, I was pre-diabetic. So then that got me really into thinking about my health even more recently. We've been actually thinking about a lot of changes in our lives, include as she mentioned that health is one of them. To be here for our kids, I can't think of a better way to actually be more present with being able to do activities with my kids and longevity of life. All that is really important to me. So
Okay. Cool. And so far in your first week, one of the benefits has been a steady flow of energy. So can you describe that?
yeah, so the energy has been ever since I started on the 21st of August. The actual energy level has been great. I haven't crashed in the middle of the day when before I would have crashed, say, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when really everything just completely shut down for me. I needed either to rest or I couldn't function very well. My mind was foggy, and eventually my energy picked up again. That's I would attribute that to the more food that I had, like more carbs and more sugar, so then that would boost me up. But only again to continue experiencing that day to day. So ever since going on the carnivore diet, it has been very good. I've had a lot of energy. My energy has not lacked from the time I wake up all the way in, all up until the time going to sleep. It's been steady all throughout.
Now we do have a little bit of I already got I'll explain my what I went through as well, but Eric just picked up a little bit of a cold that from like our kids have it and he's just has a bit of a cold. So that has nothing to really do with the carnivore. So yeah, so that's just affected him now and maybe he's able to fight it off a lot faster too because a lot has been changing in our bodies. And so you've been 2 weeks and 4 days. So, what do you find is something that has stood out to you in the last week or so?
In the last week, what stood out to me so far has been really the weight loss. I keep on seeing a pound a day from the time that I started, as I mentioned, 245, and now I'm at 231.8. So that's 13 pounds and just a little bit there, but that has been quite a drop. Yeah.
Okay. And how does that make you feel on a waking up on a daily basis with all of the different aspects of our lives that we have to take on as like we work and we're parents and we're married and we have a home and different, like all of our responsibilities, and there's seasons that we go through with how much like levels of stress. And so how has this diet and what has been happening and the weight loss affected how you feel when you for your day?
Really good. The diet itself is really simple, so I don't have to stress over counting calories, the portions I'm eating. It's really easy in that way. So my day begins with a really simple way of thinking that throughout the day I know exactly what I'm going to have to eat. It's meat and meat products. So it's been really easy in that way. Also, just getting up with that kind of energy, it allows me to be able to be more, as I mentioned, more present with everybody.
Like your mood
Yeah,
is
like
different.
my mood is different. It's more uplifting. I'm looking at things in a more positive level, which is really good in that way.
Nice, thank you. Okay, cool. So I started on August 30th, and my starting weight was about 130. I'll let you know where I'm at in a few minutes. And so, what I understand about this diet is that it's a strict elimination diet. And so, we mentioned earlier in the first video that there's four different types and everyone's different. And so, if there's some type of different alterations with what you decide is okay for yourself, it's up to you, really. And so, it's just when you're referencing information as to what goes with this diet and what doesn't, that is, they're going to say, no, this is not going to work for this because this is not what it meant in the first place for just animal products, right? Or the different levels of it and what you want to achieve. And yeah, so I understand it's a strict elimination diet. And the benefits of that is that you can reset and figure out, go from there and figure out, reap the benefits of what is happening, but also if you're going to have a certain point where you're going to add things back into your diet, then you will be able to find out if that particular item is affecting you, affecting your body, like a different type of food is affecting you. So I personally have had eczema and psoriasis, and I've had a really hard time with that, extreme, torturous, painful experience with that for the last 8 years or so. And I had it when I was a child, and it wasn't as serious, but when I started my chocolate business, I made sure I wasn't allergic to chocolate, but I had a lot of flare-ups and a really bad time with my skin throughout that time. And so it's never one reason, it's never one pinpointed reason as to where the eczema triggers are coming from or psoriasis, but 100% it is, there's a high percentage of your stress level that contributes to that, and what you eat. And so we've tried everything. We've tried to eliminate dairy and gluten and things like that before, and I was on the Mediterranean lifestyle diet before this one, and I was happy with that. I love going to the market and buying fresh vegetables and changing into a more nutritious lifestyle for the whole family. And going on this diet, I think it really just was an aggressive decision to say I want to reach my goals as well, which is to lose at least about 15 pounds, but also gain muscle. And so I don't really need to worry about the weight on the scale once I start gaining muscle, because then you're going to be gaining numbers there, but instead of fat, you're going to have muscle. And so I look forward to being toned. I used to be, so I want to stop that. I think you might agree. I want to stop that. I used to be this, and when I was like this, I was like this, and I was happy when I was this way. And oh, look, telling my kids, look, I had abs when I was teaching Zumba before, and I don't want to think about the past or talk about the past anymore. I want to live my life this way now and take care of myself, embrace our ages, and go from there. Aggressive change for inner health, inflammation. This is my why, right? Live longer for kids too. Cut out sugar and processed and ultra processed foods. For gut health, a clear mind, blood sugar control, mood improvement, heart health. right? And it's actually allowed me to really get better at my water intake in general because I wasn't always the best with that, but now I need the water and I'm making sure that I'm on top of that. So these are my why and just like an overall like better state of living. It's also fun to do things together and I'm
Mm.
supportive of what Eric's doing. I've always been supportive of what he has always tried, like to go to the gym and try to do keto and try to do different things, but like he said, it's less difficult to have less choices for something that is actually effective. And so before, just life just was too overwhelming to really have that self discipline in every area, and we're just trying to learn and get through everything. So doing things together is actually really empowering and very positive. Just in my notes here, I have the extra needs that are required for this diet is electrolytes. And we need sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, vitamin C, and fiber. And I am personally going to take supplements for that because I'm not going to mess around. On the seventh day of my journey, I got a keto,
The
I guess
keto
it's
flu.
called the keto flu. And that is when you are changing, your body is changing from using carbs and sugars for energy and switching over into ketosis with your body using fat for energy. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And so when that happened, I ended up getting like flu-like symptoms. I was very achy. I needed to rest and I had a huge headache, migraine-like, very painful for this one night. And then the next day, halfway through the day, I was fine. So it was like a 24-hour flu and I was okay. I think something that contributed to that was also, it's not looked at as the greatest thing to have coffee or tea on this diet, but everyone does it. And so I did try to actually cut out tea because my palate actually changed to wanting, like, I started decaf coffee and I owned a chocolate shop and I would make fun of people that had decaf, but if you want to sleep, then you gotta do the right thing. I was having decaf, and then there was a day that this has only been a week for me, right? I cut out the tea for the 2 days and went to decaf, and I think that contributed to my headache, like a caffeine
Hmm.
withdrawal headache, because I've had one of those before, and that was very painful too. And so I'm like fighting with my mind and fighting with myself and being like, okay, I don't need the caffeine, but that's what these things happen when you have something daily and you're addicted to caffeine intake, then your body knows and tells you and
Hmm.
asks you, what are you doing? And so that contributed to that. So yeah, so that was basically, September 3rd and September 5th that these things started happening. And so I've went down from 130 to 124.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's just in 7 days. And so that's like it feels really great. My main goal is I will be toning, but my goals are to lose underarm fat and a lot of my fat's just in the front and here. And so I think just overall, when you first start losing weight, we lose it in our face. So that'll be good and just all over. When I reach my goal, then then I'll see where I want to go with
Mhm.
it and to really continue to research and understand this diet and what it does and what we want for our family. And I think that leads us to the groceries. Would you like to let them know what we were mentioning about the groceries?
Yeah, it's really difficult to find anything without sugar. It's hard to go walk into the grocery and find a product in which we can say, okay, we know we're gonna purchase bone broth, for instance, which is or beef broth, which is what I went last night to get because I just wanted something really warm, something like that I can heat up and just sip. So I went to the store and there's bone broth there, there's beef broth, but it has all kinds of different additives. And one is just looking for beef broth, but it's got all kinds of oils, all kinds of spices, and It wasn't really a fun thing to see, especially when you're looking for something as simple as that, and you couldn't even buy that, really.
Yeah, so that was our experience last night, that we just wanted to pick up a quick can or two of bone broth or beef bone broth. Yeah, beef bone broth or beef broth. And yeah, there were too many additives. And so we just had to say no, and we have to make our own. And which is fine, but it just makes us aware, even something that you think is more on the pure side of things, there's still sugars added or different things added. And I understand that there has to be preservatives, but there was yeast, and it was just like, what? And then as for the kids, our grocery shopping last week was so horrible. We had to I split, our budget in half and said like half is meat and half is everything the kids need. And it was just a horrible experience, not only in this at this time in our economy. Everything is, what's the word?
Expensive, inflation, or
Inflation. I'm just getting mixed up with the word inflammation, so I couldn't think of inflation. So there's inflation. The economy is like super horrible right now, and everything is, it's basically your budget for your groceries right now is doubled. The cost of it is double, and it really is putting a strain on everyone. And we've just been talking to friends and talking to people with like one income families or like younger people and two income families, and everyone seems to be having a really hard time. So looking for meat is hard. And then with all of the stuff we put in the cart for the kids, it was all ultra processed. A lot of it was ultra processed. And so it was really hard for me. And so we hope to see how much we can continue to change our grocery cart and for the whole family. Yeah, so that's basically the update. We took pictures. So eventually we're going to show you some before and after pictures later on in our journey, so it makes more sense. And getting the September 6th, I was getting over a rough night of achy muscles, seriously horrible headache, and yeah, so we just want to keep this up. This video is keeping us accountable and helping us remember our journey and what we've learned from it, so that we can just share and inspire with you. We aren't really here to tell you to do this diet, but I know that as us going onto YouTube looking for things, it's definitely helpful to find people that are doing the same thing as us. And so if you are starting the journey, we're not doctors. We're just sharing our own journey and researching, and hope to be of help and inspiration to you. Do you have anything else to add?
no, I think you summed it up really well. So looking forward to our next update.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye.